Hi ladies, hi viewers, this is Cindy, Palm Springs Cindy, coming to you from my little office slash den. And as the title suggests, I want to talk to you about my dog, about what the heck is going on. And if you guys have experienced the same thing as I'm experienced. Most of you guys know, I've got to get myself settled here. Most of you guys know about Shelby, that I have a little multi-poo, Shelby, 10 and a half. And she's just a dear. I'm looking over there because she was sitting right here doing exactly what I want to talk to you about tonight. She has not always done this. This is something that she has recently started, and it is so annoying. I have Googled it. I kind of get what's going on, but I'm just going to talk it through anyway. So, okay, in the morning, Shelby and I get up, and right away, I don't even brush my teeth. I get up, I put my little walking clothes on, my sunglasses, I tie my hair up in a barrette or whatever, put a sun hat on, and we go for a walk. We go for a nice walk. We have wonderful walking trails here. So we walk probably a mile in the morning, which is, from what I understand, times that by 4 for dogs. So, when we start the walk, she is like practically pulling me. She's so excited and has so much energy. But by the time the walk is over, she's dragging. And in fact, more than one time, she has just stopped walking and stared at me like, and then yawns. And so I say to her, we're almost home. You've got to walk a little bit longer because she's too heavy for me to pick up and carry her the rest of the way. So I know that the morning walk is a nice walk for her. Then we come home and I fix her breakfast. I fix her the same thing every morning. Maybe like the other day, I put a little bit of grated cheese on top of her kibble. Maybe a teaspoonful. And so basically, so it's not diet. And then after she eats, she kind of prances around the house, and I take her out in the backyard and I throw her ball for her. She loves to play ball, and I run around the backyard with her. And then I get tired, and usually by then my coffee's ready. So I say, oh, Shelby, come on in. I'm going to have my coffee now. And I do. And then I sit on the couch and I turn on the news, and she's sort of like left on her own. And what happens is she slinks away and goes in my closet and goes to sleep. And so she sleeps most of the afternoon, I'll say. Because after I have my coffee and watch the news, then I'm up and I'm doing, like today I did a couple loads of laundry, I vacuumed, I cleaned off my patio, I sat down and watched a movie, I'll say something on Netflix or whatever, and she was sleeping the whole time. So, that's all good. That's our normal sort of routine. Then I left and I went to the pool today again. I've been going every day. It's just so wonderful because it's so hot here. And I went to the pool for about an hour and a half, came home. I was still in my wet suit. And what did I do? I don't know what I did, but I sat out I turned my music on, sat out on the patio, kind of letting the sun dry my bathing suit. So by this time, it's probably it's 4:35. And so this is what Shelby does. Now she's doing it twice a day. She does it around this time, 4:35, or around 9:30, 10:30. She comes into the room and she stops and she stares at me. And you know how your dogs have certain looks, a look of, I love you, a look of I'm glad you're home, a look of please feed me, whatever. So she just sits down and stares at me vacantly. And then, I look at her and I go, what do you want? What, Shelby, what's up? What do you want? And then all of a sudden she starts doing this little bird sound, and it's like, crying at this point. It's more whining. And then if I don't react the way she wants me to, then she barks really loud and harsh. She's down and now she's gonna start listening to me. Oh, you may hear her bark because let me see if I can get her. Hi, baby. Come here. Come here. I'm gonna see if I can get her. Hold on. Yes. Come here. Good girl. Good girl. Shut up. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Here she is. Here's the culprit. Here is the culprit. Who would think that she can be a bad girl? So, okay. So then she'll bark at me, really a shriek, loud bark. Like she's saying to me, I am mad at you. You better give me what I'm asking for. And so then, I look at her and I don't go overboard or anything, but I say, what do you want? What are you trying to tell me? And then like a mother, I think, she's had food, she's gone potty, she's had a walk, she's had her attention. I've been petting her, loving her, talking to her. What in the world does she want? So then, I say all of that, you is kind, you is smart, you is important. And I totally give her attention, put her back on the ground, and she I've pacified her for a second, but then she does it again, the whole thing all over again. And now, see, she'll start doing it in a minute because she's positioning herself. So she goes, and it's pathetic. It's like she's being tortured. So I Googled it. I Googled, why does my dog stare at me and cry? Well, then it came up, whine. And I thought, yeah, that's what it is. She's whining. And so this is what Google said. They said, first of all, you know your dog better than anybody else. So, you have to apply that knowledge of your dog to what this article is going to tell you. So they said, if a dog whines like that, it means a couple of different things. It could mean that they're happy to see you and that they love you and they're just expressing themselves. Or it could mean, give me attention. I just want attention and you're not. I need you to look at me and to acknowledge me. Or it could mean I'm in pain. And then that's when the article said, if your dog really is in pain, it will be more than a whine. It will be a behavior that you'll notice is significant, that goes along with the whining. Or it said, let's see what else. Or your dog is trying to tell you that it wants to play. It needs exercise. It wants to play. But the article did not seem to suggest it was anything bad or negative other than if it was a sign of pain. So this is what I think about Shelby. I think when she does that to me, she usually starts by sitting down and staring at me and like, then a second or two goes by, she goes, ah! Like she barks. I scared her. I know, it's okay, baby, it's okay. She'll bark really sharp and loud, like a shrieky bark, a mad bark. But then after that, she sits and she puts her butt in the air and her tail starts wagging like, let's play. So sometimes I'm like, you know what? We just took a walk. I just had you in the backyard and threw the ball for you. I'm not playing. I'm going to have my coffee. I'm going to watch the news. So if you want to get on the couch with me and I'll pet you, I'm willing to do that. Other than that, take care of yourself. So, and then at night, she does the same thing. Just before bedtime, she goes into this total act of whining, crying, barking at me. And I think, she can't be hungry. Usually we even take a walk at night because I try to avoid this behavior thinking, I'll take her up and down the street. I won't take on a really long walk, but just get her out, get her a little bit of fresh air. Well, sometimes it helps, but frankly, it really doesn't. So then she goes through this whole crying, whining. And so two things. I had one time I sometimes because I get mad and I could lose my temper. So I put her I put her outside. I put her out in the backyard, shut the door. And sometimes she's totally content. She'll walk around in the backyard. She'll, smell the flowers. She'll lay down on the grass. She's fine. Now, one time I put her in the garage and I put her bed out there because it was late. It was probably 10:30. And I put her bed out there and I even put like a little foam mattress under her bed because I didn't want the cold cement to come into her little doggy bed. And I put her toy out there and I put her, I put her to bed in the garage so I didn't have to hear her whine. And I think at first she fought it because I could hear her, like scratching on the door. And I didn't give in. I just thought, no, you have got, I'm thinking she's overtired and she needs to fall asleep. She's having a little tantrum because she's so tired. So, so like an hour went by, I didn't hear anything. And then I heard her again. And then I went over and opened the door and let her in. She just trotted in like no big deal. Nothing had happened. And so I thought, but she stopped that crazy behavior. So anyway, like I said, it's very frustrating because I don't know what she's trying to tell me. But whatever it is, it's very, very intent. It's very intentional on her part. Her look that she gives me is intense. It's like if she could talk. Oh, I just want to say, what are you trying to tell me? If you could talk, what do you want? And then, well, anyway, so I'm totally frustrated. I try not to lose my temper, but sometimes it's hard not to. And, then the most I do is yell and say, stop it, or whatever. Or what do you want? Something like that. But, so anyway, if you guys, she's always been such a good little girl. And so what is it that she needs from me that she's not getting? I just don't know. And if it's more loving, if it's more attention, I do give her a lot of attention. It's like, no, I'm the human, I'm the master. And and you get 10 points of attention every day. And so you're at 9. I'll give you one more point, and then my attention points I'm out of them. I have no more attention to give you. So anyway, okay, that's it, you guys. That's my ranting about, does your dog do this? Because Shelby is doing this, and it's really, it's upsetting to me because I want to meet her need, and I don't really know what it is. I think she just wants my attention. I think she just wants me to play with her. And enough already. I've played with her plenty. P.S. I love you. Mwah. You can see the angst on my face. I mean, it really is troubling me. But like I said, I Googled it a lot. Every site, every article said the same thing. So who am I? I'm like not a dog whisperer. So anyway, until our next conversation.